Marcella's Venice Adventure.
Welcome to Grandma's Bedtime Stories. Listen and enjoy while I take you to a wonderful and magical place where unicorns and enchanting creatures exist. Please like and subscribe for more.
Once upon a time, in a charming little town, there lived a curious and imaginative girl named Marcella. She was 11 years old, with sparkling blue eyes that held the secrets of 1,000 adventures, and her hair was as golden as the sun that kissed the earth each morning. Marcella had always dreamt of exploring far-off places, but she had never been farther than the nearby forest. One sunny morning, Marcella woke up with a feeling of excitement bubbling in her chest. She rushed downstairs to find her parents, who were sipping tea at the kitchen table. "I want to go on an adventure," she declared with an eager smile. Her parents exchanged amused glances and then chuckled. "An adventure, you say?" her father asked, raising an eyebrow. "Yes," Marcella replied enthusiastically. "I want to go to Venice." Her parents exchanged another glance, this one more serious. Venice was a beautiful city far away, filled with winding canals, grand palaces, and magnificent bridges. It was a place they had always dreamed of visiting themselves, but they had never had the chance. "Venice is quite far, dear," her mother said gently. "It's a big city with lots of people, and it might not be safe for a young girl to go alone." Marcella's heart sank, but she didn't give up. "What if I promise to be very careful? And what if I take my teddy bear, Mr. Snuggles, with me? He'll protect me." Her parents exchanged one more glance, this one filled with concern. But they could see the determination in Marcella's eyes, and they knew they couldn't hold her back forever. "All right," her father finally said with a sigh. "But you must promise to stay safe and come back home as soon as you're done with your adventure." Marcella squealed with joy and hugged her parents tightly. I promise. Thank you so much." With her parents' blessing and a backpack filled with snacks, a map, and a small notebook, Marcella set off on her grand adventure to Venice. She waved goodbye to her home, knowing that she was about to embark on the journey of a lifetime. As she walked along the winding path that led out of her town, Marcella couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and nervousness. She had never been so far from home before, and the world beyond her familiar surroundings seemed vast and unknown. But she knew that she had her trusty teddy bear, Mr. Snuggles, by her side, and that gave her courage. The journey to Venice was long and filled with breathtaking sights. Marcella walked through lush forests, crossed babbling brooks on rickety bridges, and even encountered a friendly fox who shared stories of his own adventures. She noted everything down in her little notebook, drawing pictures and writing descriptions to remember every detail. As days turned into weeks, Marcella's excitement grew. She knew she was getting closer to Venice, and her heart pounded with anticipation. One sunny afternoon, as she stood on the crest of a hill, she saw it, the shimmering waters of the Venetian lagoon and the unique city of Venice itself, rising like a dream from the water. With a burst of energy, Marcella rushed down the hill and reached the edge of the lagoon. She could hardly believe her eyes as she looked at the city of Venice, with its colorful buildings reflected in the water and gondolas gliding gracefully along the canals. It was even more enchanting than she had imagined. Marcella found a bridge leading into the city and walked across it, feeling like she was stepping into a magical world. Venice was a bustling place, with people from all over the world exploring its winding streets. Marcella marveled at the architecture, the beautiful masks in shop windows, and the delicious aromas of Italian cuisine wafting through the air. As she wandered deeper into Venice, Marcella came across a small, quiet square with a magnificent fountain in its center. She decided to sit down for a moment and rest, taking out her notebook to sketch the scene before her. Mr. Snuggles sat on her lap, looking content as he observed the world around him. As Marcella sketched, a friendly voice interrupted her thoughts. "Excuse me, young lady, but that is a lovely drawing you're working on." Marcella looked up to find an elderly man with twinkling blue eyes and a kind smile. His name was Carlo, and he had lived in Venice all his life. He was a painter, just like Marcella aspired to be. "Thank you," Marcella replied, blushing slightly. "I'm Marcella, and this is Mr. Snuggles. We're on an adventure, exploring Venice." Carlo's eyes lit up. "An adventure, you say? Well, Venice is the perfect place for that. Would you like a tour of our beautiful city from a local's perspective? Marcella couldn't believe her luck. She nodded eagerly, and Carlo became her guide for the day. He showed her hidden alleyways adorned with colorful laundry lines, ancient churches with stunning frescoes, and secret gardens filled with blooming flowers. They even took a ride in a gondola, gliding through the serene canals as the gondolier sang a melodious tune. Throughout their day together, Carlo shared stories about Venice's rich history, its famous carnival, and the legends of masked figures who once roamed its streets. Marcella listened intently, soaking in every word and capturing the essence of Venice in her sketches. As the sun began to set, Carlo brought Marcella to a charming little cafe by the Grand Canal. They enjoyed a delicious Italian meal together, and Marcella felt like she had made a friend for life. When it was time to say goodbye, Carlo handed Marcella a small, beautifully painted mask. "A gift for the young artist who brought such joy to my day," he said with a smile. Touched by his kindness, Marcella hugged Carlo tightly and promised to return one day to visit her new friend. With her backpack filled with precious memories and the mask safely tucked away, she left Venice just as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky. The journey back home was just as thrilling as the journey to Venice. Marcella met new friends, discovered hidden wonders, and continued to fill her notebook with sketches and stories of her adventures. As she walked through the familiar forest on her way back to her town, Marcella couldn't help but feel a sense of contentment and fulfillment. When she finally arrived home, her parents rushed out to greet her with tearful hugs and smiles. Marcella shared her adventures, showing them the sketches and the mask Carlo had given her. They were overjoyed to see their daughter's dreams come true. From that day on, Marcella's room was filled with colorful paintings and sketches of her adventures, each one telling a story of far-off places and new friends. She knew that her Venice adventure was just the beginning of a lifetime of exploration and discovery. And so, Marcella's Venice adventure became a cherished memory, a reminder that with courage, curiosity, and the right companions, even the wildest dreams can come true. And as she lay in bed at night, she would look at the twinkling stars outside her window and dream of all the adventures that still awaited her in the world beyond. The end.